There are only a few rare people who must write, for whom writing isn't uh, a choice, but a compulsion. But for the majority of us, those of us who desire to write, writing is a choice. It's something that we can decide to do, not something we have to do. Something like you choose what you want to eat for breakfast, or when to take a shower, or if you're going to take a nap, what time you want to get up, or maybe that it's time to sweep the floor. There is nothing divinely enacted that says we have to write. We are not elected. We're not commanded to write. We simply choose to do it. And that's what I want to talk about in this video, is the choice to write. Welcome to Devotion to Writing, a channel devoted to helping you cultivate a daily writing practice and realize you are creative abundance. In my own writing journey, it has been shaped by a series of private choices. The choice to write or not to write. And perhaps I should say it is really just one choice made again and again, and that is the choice to write even when I don't feel like it, even when I'm not particularly feeling inspired by anything, even when I don't have a project or a deadline, or even when I feel like I don't have anything I need to say or to write about. There is the choice to write, to take action and that choice to act has made the difference in my life. The choice to write daily has changed the trajectory of my life. And for those of you who have watched past videos, perhaps you've heard the story. My experience as a writer for many years was that one of frustration, was being stopped by fear and doubt, not just stopped, being paralyzed by the fear. I wrote sporadically. I wrote on scraps of paper that I lost. I didn't take care of the writing. I didn't honor the writing, and I certainly did not choose to write. I wrote only when I felt inspired, and maybe not even then. Sometimes I would let the inspiration go by and never put pen to page, or write it out on my computer, wherever it was that I was writing. But what changed for me was making the conscious decision that I know for me, I knew it for a long time before I actually could do it, that writing was important. It was something I wanted to have in my life daily, that I knew that if I did it, well, I didn't know it at the time, but I believed that I wanted to write. And it wasn't until I was writing daily, till I made the choice to write every day, or at least more days than not, that I realized what writing contributed to my life and the difference that it made in my life. So the choice to write daily changed everything. And that choice to come to the page, to scratch out an idea, a poem, to hash out a story, to choose to begin and to choose again the next day, to begin and again the next day, full of doubt, full of fear. This choosing to do, to act, leads to overcoming our own resistance. And within a short time for me, the act of choosing to write helped me overcome the resistance. Sure, some days I still had the fear. I still felt doubt. I still felt days that I didn't have anything to say, that I wasn't inspired, that maybe I wasn't a writer. But the more I did it, the more I chose to act against that resistance, the easier it became to write. And so even though those insecurities kept coming, they no longer stopped me from writing. And so making that choice to write, which you want to do. If you didn't feel it already in you, you wouldn't be watching these videos. So this choice to write, it empowers you to claim ownership of your writing, of your creativity, of your creative power. And in a very short time, you will realize that this is what I do. I write. And what a powerful affirmation this is, to notice. that you write. And notice that I didn't say, I write well. There's no need to qualify the action, the activity. We simply see that I write. You are the writer. You are the enactor of the writing. And this is so important and empowering because it is a declaration of this is what I do. Whether I feel good or not, I write. Whether I feel inspired or not, I write. Whether I think I'm good at it or not, I write. I write. I write. That's the only choice. I write or I don't write. Furthermore, making the choice to write again and again, it builds its own momentum. And this momentum itself breaks down our resistance, our doubts, our fears. And we may even become, the writing may even become an established routine, a ritual which is embedded in our day. And at this point, it is much harder to break the habit of writing than it is not. How do I want to say this? It's harder not to write than to write, if that makes sense, because we have that ritual, that routine. We have writing embedded into our day. It's part of how we live. And so, again, it is then harder not to write than to write. So once you have established then that space, that ritual of writing in your day, in that space your creativity can flourish. And you may begin to recognize that your creative juices begin to flow as your chosen time. And I've talked in other videos, again, in past videos, I've talked about how important it is perhaps to write within a certain time of day, if that doesn't feel too rigid to you, because for some people that might just be too rigid and you're not going to go there. But there is something about that ritual of writing at a certain time of day. One, it's a consistent part of your day, and so you know between 8 and 9 or 5 and 6 in the morning, whatever it might be, lunchtime, that is your writing time. And it's easier to, I think, protect your writing time or to schedule it and to build the rest of your life around it when you have that defined time to write during your day. So once we do that, you might feel, once you do that, once you ritualize that or you have a routine, you might feel your creative juices starting to flow as you approach that chosen time. It's like your body, your mind, your spirit all start to wake up around, oh wow, it's time to write. It's almost time for us to be active. So creation it's mysterious, but it isn't a mystery how it works. And I say that because it comes to us, the creativity, the inspiration seems to come to us when we work and because we choose to work. So when we act, creativity acts. And when we choose to act, it too can flow in. There's no mystery, though it's mysterious. Where does it come from? How does it function? Where do ideas come from? We can't know these answers, but that it works, that it comes when we work, that when we show up, when we choose to be present, there's no mystery to that at all. So maybe I could say this more directly. It comes because you are it. We are it. We are creation itself. So choosing to write, you are choosing to be with the creative power that you are. And when you are writing, you are just practicing being with this power and unlocking this channel that you are. You can't not be it except by choice. And saying yes, or I should say, but saying yes, which is the choice, unlocks your creativity. It unlocks it. So choosing to write daily, or at least consistently writing, you are never far from the ideas, the images that are percolating in you, that are ripening and that want to come out, and that that pressure then that you may have felt in your life, that I know I have felt when I wasn't writing consistently, when I'm not writing daily, when I'm not working, when I'm not choosing to be creative, that this pressure can build, that you may feel, I have felt it, that when we do get to the page, there's a pressure to finish. There's a pressure to be perfect. But this goes away the more that we show up, because we know that we are returning, and not in a month, and not in a year, but tomorrow or the next day. And we will attend to this nascent idea, this image, again, this poem, this story that we've just begun, and we will grow it, because this is what we're doing now. We are choosing to show up each day, to spend some time with our creativity. So we're never too far away from it. So again, that pressure then doesn't build in us. We're not afraid that we're going to abandon it, because we're with it. We're with it routinely. So choose to write whatever you need to write. And one day that could be a journal. One day it might be stream of consciousness. The next day you might return to a piece, to a poem, or to a story that you started the day before. Or maybe you'll create something new. Maybe you'll write about a dream you had. So I'm saying, when you choose to write, you don't have to just choose to do and keep doing the same thing. You can also choose to write whatever you feel like writing that day, wherever your desire is taking you, or your non-desire is taking you. Whatever needs to come that day, you can attend to it. The point is to choose to write, and that when you make that choice daily, it turns writing into a habit, and this will alleviate this specialness, this preciousness that we might have, that you might have about your writing. And again, I certainly felt that when I wasn't writing consistently, that when I got to the page, it was just so, I just would bring so much baggage to it, so much pressure that I had to do something now, because my God, I finally got my behind in the seat, and I was finally getting to work, and that put a tremendous amount of pressure on it. But once I started writing daily, I was astounded, because the things would just be there. The person I was writing about, the story, the poem, even the emotions that I had had the day before in my writing, in that practice, they would be there again, as if they were waiting for me. And yet there was an overflowing too. There was the sense that there was this, that I, in fact, was this vessel of creativity that I felt like I had written and was draining. But when I came back to the next day, it was filled again with, brimming over with things I wanted to say, write about, write into, discover, on and on. It is really, writing fulfills itself. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you write, I think the more there is to write, the more that you will discover you have to say. So, and this, of course, will help your doubts and fears and resistance recede around writing. So there's a wonderful quote that I just heard from Nisargadatta. It says, "It is not the right advice that liberates, but the action." So this advice that I'm giving you to choose to write, to choose daily to write, this advice is not going to suddenly liberate you from your struggle to write, but only your action. Your action is going to liberate you from your struggle, liberate you from just this desire, this wanting to write. So choose the action, write. Otherwise, you're going to be living against the very activity that you wish to engage in, the very thing that you wish to do with your life, the feelings that you wish to have, that you believe creativity, that writing specifically will bring out in you. You will be living against those, and you'll be blocking those off. And that takes a tremendous amount of energy. It is a creative energy as well, albeit it's a negative one, and a lot of us have it, and I suffered from it for a long time, this kind of negative creativity, which we put so much energy into creating things blocks for ourselves not to write, not to do what we love, not to create the things in our lives. And we have abundant excuses and ways to distract ourselves and to shut ourselves down. That's a creativity all of its own, and it's very negative. If we have that, and I had it, and it still pops up from time to time, you have to see it and turn it around and choose to do the thing that you're desiring to do, as opposed to not doing or doing its opposite. So choose to write daily. Start building that choice to write into your day, and soon you are going to realize dramatic results. You're going to realize a flow of creativity. You're going to realize abundance of things to say, things you would like to write about, an abundance of beauty. And here, it's a beautiful practice, and it is a practice to choose, yes, to choose to write. So here's a prompt today to get you going today, to get you writing today, because you chose to watch this video, and perhaps you'll choose to write now. I choose to write because. I choose to write because. Why do you choose to write? Why would you like to write? I hope that helps you today. I hope this video helped you. Please subscribe if you would like more of these videos, tips and tricks to help keep you coming to the page, to help you keep coming to the page and devote yourself to creating your life, to creating in your life. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please visit Devotion to Writing if you'd like to learn about some other ways I might help you. Devotion to Writing might help you cultivate your writing practice. I have workshops online and in person. I lead writing retreats, different places in the world at different times of the year. And in fact, I'm offering a Zoom class starting September 17th. That's a Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm outside of Boston, so Eastern Standard Time, United States. 7 o'clock to 8:30, Wednesday evenings, September 17th it's starting. You can find that at devotiontowriting.com. I'd love to meet you there. I'd love to help you cultivate a writing practice so that you can realize your creative abundance. I hope you write deeply today. I know that if you do write, you will write beautifully, because beautiful is what you are. Blessings.